Hello everyone. Our lesson today is going to be on zero-based budgeting. Zero-based budgeting is a budgeting that you start from the scratch, as the name implies, zero-based budget. The traditional budgeting we are used to is based on the premise that the past is a guide to the future and that the current operations are efficient and essential and should form the basis for future budgets. Thus, the traditional budget is based on incrementalism. A researcher also explained that zero-based budgeting takes the opposite view by assuming that budgets for every function should start from the scratch. The director of an institute, for example, has to take every item of the budget as a new preposition and justify its needs. Every naira to be spent on the budget must be justified. In this approach, the objective, sort, and the work packages should be as though the director were starting from the beginning of base zero, each planned period. The impetus to make planning more complete may be seen from this approach. We also have a researcher also, who is no other person than Peter, who was the first person who introduced zero-based budgeting in 1969 to the research department of Texas Instruments. Later on, in 1972, Peter also introduced or assisted Carter to introduce zero-based budgeting to the state's government planning system. Peter in 1970 also defined zero-based budgeting, which is ZBB, as defined zero-based budgeting as budgeting process that requires the manager of each decision unit within the organization to justify his entire budget request in detail starting from zero base. And that will take us to the procedure. What is this procedure of zero-based budgeting? Number 1, establish the objective of the department for the budget. The heads of the department should allow to discuss the objective for the year with the dean to ensure that those objectives are in line with the overall objective of the institution or of the institute as laid down in the statutes. Number 2, examine the various ways of achieving the objective. For example, year 4 undergraduate students must do teaching practice, just as we normally do in our department. The head of department prepares the decision package or operational plan for teaching practice. With this technique, the head of department takes or keeps asking 2 questions. A question: are the current activity efficient and effective? B, should all activity be reduced, expand, or drop? These are the questions you might ask. Then Peter also defined it as a decision package, as a document that defines or identifies and describes a specific activity in such a manner that management can evaluate it and rank it against other activity competing for limited resources. The cost of each package is estimated. Under it, we have preparing decision package. So what will be the decision package? Number one, department, which is going to be nursing. I'm just giving an example. Number two, decision, undergraduate year 4 student teaching practice. Number three, desired result. What will be the desired result? The desired result, number one or A, will be to send all year 4 students out on a 6 weeks teaching practice. B, to ensure that students actually show up or showed up in the schools for teaching practice. C, to ensure that each student teacher is actually supervised for 3 full lessons during the practice. So, that is under a desired outcome. So number 4, description of activities. What will be the activities that will be carried out? Describe how the teaching or practice is to be done. State the activities involved. Under the activities here, we have letters written to superintendent of schools or principals of school. Number 2, we have letters written to principals. And also, number 3, letters written to students. So we need to inform the students so that they know the actual places they are supposed to be. Number 4, we have letters written to lecturers. Lecturers need to be aware of where they are supposed to go to or the group of students that they are supposed to supervise. Number 5, letters written to schools and staff. And that would take us to the number 5. Under it, we have how and when completed. When do you want this task to be completed? Number 1, 2 out of 4 institute secretarial staff produce document for 8 days. Number 2, posting by institute or school. Number 3, book cars used for visit by institute or school lecturers only. Each staff traveling twice a week for 6 weeks. That is to school that have cars that can convey lecturers to where they are supposed to teach, which is also what is obtainable in most schools. So number 4, each student seen only once. Try to see the student once a week. Then under number 6, we have alternative way. What is the alternative way of carrying out this? The alternative way, number 1, all secretarial staffs of documents for 4 days. All secretarial staff type document for 4 days. Number 2, lunch provided by institute or schools. Number 3, work stops at 4 p.m. Number 4, 4 extra secretarial staff hired. Number 5, work stop at 6 p.m. for 2 days. Number 6, 4 cars hired for trips. Number 7, institute and faculty staff employed, each staff traveling only 2 days in 6 weeks. Number 8, each student seen 3 times. These are some of the criteria that is written there for individual to note. And that will take us to number 7. After the alternative ways. Number 7 have benefit of retaining any activities. Number 8, we have your current cost. What will be the current cost that could be used? So that will take us to record the current cost of carrying out the activities. All current costs will be written out for us to know because we are looking at zero-based budgeting. So the number 3, the caption here is ranking the decision package. How do we rank the decision package? The proposed decision package of every department should be submitted to the dean for ranking at the heads of the department meeting. The decisions are ranked in order of importance relative to all other decisions packages. The cost of each package is reviewed. In this way, new decisions or costs can compete with other already established decisions. Any activities considered of how priorities and for which resources could not be appropriated in view of other activity is deleted. That is to say, any activities that is not wanted, it has to be deleted. Then there is no need to put down an item on the budget simply because it has been there for the last 3 sessions. So it still goes back to what we have said. Any activity that is not wanted should be deleted, no matter how important it is. Whatever is not wanted should not be there. Number 4, still under the ranking package of decision making, we have selection of best alternative for achieving the stated objective. Yes, you have to state the objective and know which one that will be better for the student and also for the institution. Number 5, quantify the resource required. This is what appears on the budget. So, what is the advantage of zero-based budgeting? Yes. The most outstanding advantage of zero-based budgeting is the analytical and alternative development process, which the technical forces the chief executive to work through. Cooperation in the enforcement of the budget is expected from every department. Participation in making the decision package makes it easier for all the departments to remember that they themselves have been responsible to a large extent for establishing their own section of the budget. As a result, there is the tendency for the staff to take personal interest in seeing that the budgetary control system functions properly. All heads of departments knows what to ask for at this particular time. So rank ordering of the decision package provides an effective chief executive the opportunity to allocate scarce resource properly. Preparation of the decision package gives the head of department and the dean essential training and thorough knowledge of all the institute or school activities for which resources are sought. Zero-based budgeting makes the dean or chief executive more efficient in his planning. Some of the organizational goals of the faculty include profitability, survival, productivity, and service to the community. By the use of zero-based budgeting, it is easy to spot the programs that are not viable before they take off. And that will take us to some limitations. What are the limitations of zero-based budgeting? Some managers do not want to try zero-based budgeting because of the notion that it tends to reduce the manager's budget and his spending power. Many managers frown at the idea of starting with zero-based every year when there are some expenditure items like project supervision, and receipt examination supervision that lingers till the following session. Another reason why managers do not use ZEP is because they believe that some budget items like remuneration for coordinators and course lecturers are strategic, so they do not have to be evaluated for decision purposes. However, with the practice of managers' discovery that such activities can still enjoy their pride of position during budget presentation, but their position must be justified by the dean or the chief executive. So in summary, some experienced administrator may think that they can personally supervise all activities and control operation at the institute or school without the artificial aid which is zero-based budget could provide. Others argue that the programs are fraught with so many uncertainties that it could be foolish to forecast the future and to lay plans in accordance with such forecasts. It is certain that during the planned period, some changes may occur, yet the chief executive would be more successful if it is directed by the fiscal plan that are put down in an intelligent, explicit, and defined manner, as they are under the zero-based budget. Such zero-based budget is far supervised or other general idea of procedure which an individual may carry around in his head. With a good zero-based budget, an effective administrator can balance their responsibility to the workers with responsibility to the establishment. His balance allows for the stability of the institute or school. Administrators are therefore encouraged to learn and apply this method of budgeting as a tool for developing sound educational programs and reporting on the process in achieving this program. If formal education is to assess or assist national development, it must be probably funded. If economic fees must be charged for formal education, many youths from poor homes will not be able to benefit from it. Families, governments, industries, and well-to-do individuals should be willing to work as partners in funding formal education in Nigeria. With transparency, good accountability, hard work, and good supervision, a good administrator may still achieve some of the major goals of the organization despite inadequate funding. And that will bring us to the end of zero-based budgeting. So talking about it, zero-based budgeting is what each and every institution should adopt. We have talked about it, we tried to introduce it. We have come about with the procedure of ZEP. We have also talked about preparing decision-making package of how your teaching practice will take off. We also talk about how and when to complete them, which need time. We talk about the alternative ways of using ZEP. We have talked about ranking the decision package. How do you rank them? And we came up with different, strategy or packages to rank them. We also went about to talk about the advantages and also some limitations of zero-based budgeting, where some administrators or managers do not like. And then we went on to talk about and give a summary of how zero-based budgeting is important. So if you need more clarification, please go into your book and then try to read them up, and with that you'll be able to understand what zero-based budgeting is. Thank you for listening. God bless you all.